Lich, it would have been so good to just secure the lanes, and then any potential core that comes out after that. I'm not the biggest fan of what they opened with because of what was available, but no, it's stable. Like we spoke about stability, so that's definitely what they're going for here. Can't criticize it too much. It's just super safe.
It's just safe, exactly. It's just they want to have this. You can tell like already. This is a best of one, right? They want to be sure if things go wrong a little bit in the mid game, we have something to back up on as a Medusa late game.
Okay.
Like that's you're opening with this in a BO1. It's like boom.
Yep.
Lots of damage mitigation coming out for Chaos now too. Alliance takes out Kunkka. I mean that could have been pretty crazy. The Warcry plus Mana Shield plus Coco Rum on top, like.
Yeah. The lanes would be a bit iffy, but if you get out of the laning stage, it would be pretty strong.
Yeah.
There's still Lich.
Nice, Lich is still in
There's
here.
still Elder Titan.
Still ET as well. What was this? This Sven is probably like 5 though, right? That's pretty much what we've seen it run.
Could be 5.
Majority.
I've seen a lot on position 3, especially at the minor, but
At the minor, but not here though.
he is mostly position 5.
Yeah. It's like it used to be Sven versus Nature's Prophet was something that people would pick because the treants, you know, you can deal with them, but now it's like Sven doesn't want to. You don't play Sven carry really.
You don't skill cleave anymore.
You don't skill cleave.
Unless you're position 3, then maybe 1 or 2 levels. But
maybe. It's open-ended, I guess, still. We don't really know exactly where this Sven is.
I like seeing Black cringe every time Carry Sven's mentioned.
Carry Sven is not good.
I did casting it yesterday. We were like, I was like, he's actually not doing. Oh, just kidding. It hit the point where his
BKB's over.
5 seconds. Yeah, BKB's 5 seconds.
And he literally has full health, but he can't do anything.
Yeah, you're just.
And then he just slowly dies to like Visage Birds because he can't move.
Well, that was your biggest critique, right? You said the fall off was just really bad with Carry Sven.
I mean, you have this 10-second BKB. You look amazing. 14 fights later, wow, I can get 6 hits. He didn't die. I can't move anymore. I'm dead.
I mean, I saw him. He had Daedalus, and he hit a familiar, and the familiar took 0 damage, and he had God Strength on. I was like, oh my.
Gravekeeper's cloak, man.
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh.
The real Gravekeeper right there.
That Magnus got banned, right? So there's still there's the Lich.
There's the Lich.
I was about to say Lich and Elder Titan were still.
This damage mitigation is insane.
I'm really surprised it got through, honestly. Like Kunkka, I don't see too. Like if you pick Kunkka and Medusa in one lineup, it's so slow.
Yeah.
It's a very awkward ban for me. The Lich seems just to be like way stronger. Secures their lanes instead of making them weaker. We'll see.
Lich just provides so much, right? Lich provides lane dominance, team fight. It's everything.
Yeah, you defend towers.
Yeah, it does like everything.
34 games.
Oracle. That's one of the best responses though, because you can actually purge off that Frost Shield.
You can purge off both. You can purge off Warcry and you can purge off Frost Shield. So yeah, this is
defensive measures gone.
This is good. And Alliance is one of the it's rising more, but they're one of the teams that love the Oracle.
They started playing it.
Yeah, Insania absolutely loves to play this hero.
Task Oracle is also really strong because of the fast attack speed. It's actually a lot of physical damage that comes out with the attack team. I personally love the Tusk and Prophet lane. It is a super pressure lane, very hard to lane against.
Yeah.
They will need like a very strong position 1 carry. Maybe like a Timber or something like that. But even Timber dies.
Damn, dude, Timber's been doing a lot better than I thought he was gonna be doing.
Yeah.
This thing is, he's just.
I mean, he's always getting like last picked, and teams just seem to forget about it. Like,
there's it's like no magical damage on the team. It's like,
we have this Kunkka middle. Oh, guess we didn't ban Timber.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Perhaps in this game, but.
We've been seeing more and more of the Timber as days goes on. What exactly is the reason for it? Is it kind of a few of those things that you mentioned here? There he is.
Yeah, just like like we literally were saying.
Easy.
Well, what is it? He's just super tanky naturally. A lot of burst damage.
Yeah.
It's just if there's a Timber, you don't have magic damage. You don't want to go to him, you know, and you just push all of your lanes. Wow, this is super good aim pick though.
But remember, dude, that's
what we said yesterday.
This is the same thing. This is like literally the same thing as yesterday. The Timber and the Deuce on the same team versus an anti-mage. And that was ASD on the AM, and they got run over in less than 20 minutes.
But to be fair, eHome really messed their lanes
They
up.
did. They didn't help the AM at all in the mid lane.
Yeah, and they lost the other 2 side lanes as well. So I'm expecting at least if Alliance gets pressure at mid lane, this Prophet lane is going to dominate.
Yeah, so they have the thing is that they have lanes that they can do really well in, so the AM can get the space.
Yeah.
After yesterday when that pick did come in, the panelists were just like, oh my God, this AM, it's the best thing we've seen the entire tournament. Do we still like this pick as much after yesterday? Are we hesitant after yesterday? Or do we think yesterday could have been a little bit of an anomaly, Black?
I mean, I'm the biggest AM spammer here probably.
Yeah,
so
you are.
I definitely like the pick a lot. There's no real counter at all, like 1 Stormbolt and then, okay. Yeah. If you ever get your Manta up, you have a free game. And it counters Medusa as well as Timber, so super hard.
And he's got an Oracle backing him up. They've got double saves as well for this AM versus limited disable. It's what? It's Stun and Sinister Gaze right now.
They could just pick a safe lane that's self-sustainable. This Oracle AM lane can beat the Lich plus Dusa.
Yeah.
If they want to dual lane middle again.
Yeah, this is true.
Now, when you look at both of these lineups, is there anything that jumps off the page, starting with Chaos, that they're really missing that you want to see in their last pick, Fogged?
I mean, Sven and Lich, their catch isn't really the best. It's like Sven and Lich right now. It's okay.
Like super slow, right?
Yeah,
and
they're very slow
Stormbolt,
at chasing.
They need like a Centaur or something that can actually catch the AM.
Something that brings, I feel like we said that. I heard you guys say that like 50 times yesterday too, the Centaur. I think though, like, yeah, it's some type of catch and more lockdown. They absolutely need a hero that's going to have another type of disable or something that will build into a disable for this anti-mage.
A Centaur or Starladder is not terrible either.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so potentially finding a little bit more catch for Chaos. What's Alliance thinking about here?
Same thing, honestly. They just want a tanky frontliner. I think Centaur is awesome for both lineups right now. So
I mean, I love that hero right now.
Yeah, like if Alliance picks up Centaur, I think the lineup is pretty much complete. Strong lanes, stuns.
Little bit of
damage
lack of
mitigation.
team fight, right? They're lacking some, but Chaos doesn't have the most crazy team fight either. It's Stone Gaze and Chain Frost at the
They'll
moment.
definitely be looking to split push more with the Prophet and the Anti-Mage already. So if they do get the Centaur, they have a lot of potential for pickoffs. And of course, Chaos wanted to secure that late game with the Dusa pick, and now actually Alliance has the better late game in my opinion. So
agreed. I mean, this is
Brewmaster.
This is another Dispel.
Yeah.
Another Dispel versus the Lich and the Sven.
And Dusa hates it because Dusa generally doesn't go BKB. So getting Yuled up by the Storm Panda is so annoying as Dusa.
I mean, all the abilities, right? Even getting Cinder Brood. Cinder Brood, Medusa's a hero that you stand your ground. You get Cinder Brood, you're just hitting yourself the whole time. So that's actually a pretty cool pick there.
The Alliance draft is pretty damn good.
I really like it, yeah. And I mean, Fira and AM is a time classic. Like this is we can split push and we can go to the late game.
And a tier 3 classic.
Yeah.
No, Chaos still looking for a little bit of catch.
Doombringer.
They need a heavy disable.
Centaur, Doom, Slaughter.
Slaughter's banned.
Like oh, Slaughter's banned.
Beastmaster. Okay, that's catch.
Gives them an aura too.
Gives them tower push.
But not the strongest versus.
I mean, AM,
Oracle.
your animation on Roar is pretty slow. You can reflect that, right? Pretty guaranteed.
And they have Oracle too. I hate playing Beast into Oracle.
Yeah.
Like your strongest ability just
gets insta-dispelled.
Gets rendered useless,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Alliance has the better draft here.
I think Alliance has the better draft.
Like 60-40 maybe even more, 65-35, something like that.
I'm liking it as well. I mean, this Medusa, Lich, and Sven, it's a lot of damage mitigation, but they have ways to dispel it. They have ways to get on top of these heroes too.
The biggest issue I have is they can't actually effectively stop the AM. If he gets a good game, this game is just going to be over in like 30 minutes because it's going to be 6 slotted.
And I think the Brew pick was like pretty crucial to round it out. So
Auras, perfect team fight. That's what they were lacking.
All right, so we are done with our draft. We're about ready to jump into it, but throughout the entirety of the match, all of the item timings, gold graphs, all of those analytics are provided by our analytics partner from the event, SAP, but we're done with all the analysis on the desk, ready to jump into the first best of one of the day. We're going to kick it down to the casters.
Thank you so much, Rich. And yes, it's a best of one. God's blood, sweat, tears. It's all coming out today. And it's Alliance versus Chaos up first. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. BO1s are fun, you know. Teams getting eliminated, that's where the tears come out. And I don't love much more than watching a grown man cry. So.
Well, we'll see who it is.
Spoken as someone who's, cried on the TI main stage. So.
That's true. Yeah, I know.
I'm not tear shaming, guys. It's okay to cry. If you lose, I'm an hour's drive away, so I won't be there to give you a hug.
We'll give you a hug when we get back. But let's hop into the game right now as we are already paused. So we're going to chill for a second as we wait for that one. But yeah, I mean, you look at this, it's back to TI3 all over again. Loda comes in, he's the coach. He's going to let's do Nature's Prophet, Anti-Mage. It worked well for us.
Such, it's Alliance. Nothing's changed, it seems, sometimes. But, obviously very different roster. That's changed a lot. And you've got some new Nature's Prophet players going from, obviously, the era of Admiral Bulldog. Now, I imagine Koikva playing it. He's a big Nature's Prophet player. And excited to see what Alliance have Chaos have had a bit of a shaky run here so far.
Definitely.
But BO1s, it's, you know, the crazy time. Anything can happen.
And it's going to be a Weehaw playing on the Timbersaw this time as we do hop into this game. You know, we're talking about some of the weird synergies we could see later on. Maybe Nature's Prophet sprouts somebody, Timbersaw's in there, and he gets a bonus like 1 billion damage because of Whirling Death. Would be pretty funny to see if that happened, but obviously not going to be looking for that anti-synergy. As Chaos smoke out towards the mid lane. Going to try and get some wards down, it looks like, here on the early goings of it. And Mr. Kingar is going to be playing on that Sven. As we've been seeing more and more often, just the support Sven come out.
Get some different stuff this time around somewhat. Forward position, I guess. Normally, it's I feel like the 5s that have been playing this Sven more, but Misery going to be in Lich, so Lich Sven. Sven is a forward. I don't know, it feels a bit underwhelming sometimes just because it's not a hero that utilizes the farm that much, and whether you're a 4 or a 5, you're, to me, kind of the same hero. You've just got your 2 spells. There is a chance, you know, as a 4, you're going to get a faster Blink Dagger so you can have better initiation, but no, I don't feel like AM's too scared of these catches. Things like Sven Stun as well as the Beastmaster Roar are very telegraphed, something that Black mentioned, you know. It's very easy to get that spell shield off with the Beastmaster Roar wind up. Same thing for the Sven Stun.
Yeah, and of course, afterwards, if you do get hit, Insania might be there to save your life as well. Granted, oftentimes Oracle is going to be a little bit behind that anti-mage just because he's so maneuverable, but it's something to watch for as this game goes on. Mickey, certainly a very adept player, and, well, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of hero spam, I'm imagining, in this game. That's the Chaos way.
Oh, the voice lines?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. That's always some good fun to watch. I'm glad all the teams are embracing it. Like, yesterday, eHome, you know, they were all about it as well. We're seeing a true universal love of these voice lines. And particularly now, you know, everyone's leveling up their Dota pluses, so.
Does look like Quakefa going to be heading there towards that mid Nature's Prophet. We saw it yesterday on Sumail, something that I think probably was a little bit out of character for him, but Quakefa's certainly very comfortable on this hero. And well, Shard's going in right onto Misery. Needs to eat a tango and then walk away, and it looks like he's going to be fine. Mickey, on the other hand, might be in trouble. Is they're going to draw first blood?
Well, I mean, perhaps just not expecting the double support down here, but that is... yeah, not a lane you feel too good about being in. If you're an anti-mage against a tri-lane with Lich Sven, perhaps seeing the Beastmaster made him think like, oh, you know, it's Beastmaster. You're not tri-laning with a Beastmaster, but yeah, why the hell not? Your Timbersaw doesn't need help. He's happy to 1v1 a Brewmaster, so this laning setup works actually quite nicely for Chaos.
And I feel like they might have seen the AM right-click on somebody, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he doesn't have Blink. He actually can't do anything right here, as Boxy is going to be taking some damage from Weehaw, staying near some of those trees, and brought down very low. Timbersaw loves to go against melee strength heroes.
Yeah, it's CS-wise even or even brew favored so far, but that's going to very quickly change. Once Weehaw gets like level 3, level 4, he gets his Soul Ring up, this lane will quickly swing in his favor.
Misery caught again, but we know what happened last time. They went on this Lich. A lot of outgoing damage potential here, as the pull does look like it's going to be interrupted a little bit. Mickey going to try and get all of the CS that he possibly can. Still just level 1, so does need to be playing carefully, but he has not been hurt too badly after that first death.
Yeah, getting at least decent CS down here, but it's not the kind of free farm you'd hope for. Which means for your Alliance, you're hoping those other 2 lanes are going pretty well, which looking at the CS is the case. Quakefa topping the CS chats, even Brewmaster so far doing all right until the Timbersaw gets those levels. Mid-Furion is just one of those heroes, Nature's Prophet that is, that just dominates the CS battle because of those treants. But the issue is once Medusa gets some more levels, level 2 Mystic Snake already, we're seeing like some of those treants start getting farmed up, and it's not going to remain as Nature's Prophet favored as it started off.
Yeah. Some of the strength that we've seen as the War Cry comes out, chase forward from the Nature's Prophet has been early rotations that you can make with the teleportation and then obviously get back to your lane before it gets too pushed in. But it's actually going to be somebody rotating into the Nature's Prophet lane here as Taki is set up on this Tusk. Feels like it might be a bit of a tough get, but they're moving in, and yeah, Deuce just walks back.
You know, poke his nose. Yeah, with Mana Shield up, even level 1, it's a bit of extra survivability that doesn't really give them kill potential, it doesn't feel like.
And they're lane swapping.
Yeah, Brewmaster's kind of at this point where he can't lane against Timbersaw, but I also fear the Anti-Mage could struggle a bit up top once the Soul Ring comes online, because Weehaw can just spam Soul Ring Whirling Death off cooldown.
Oh, and they would love to be able to do something here on Boxy, considering he just TP'd, but instead, that is going to be Brewmaster moving over, and HFN also caught in the Sprout, so multiple ganks going on simultaneously, and they're actually going to TP in the Sven towards the mid lane, and the Warcry just ensuring that HFN has an okay time here.
Yep. So, yeah, lane rotations, ports moving around the map, a lot of early activity here from both sides. You can see what's going on up top. It is a full level advantage for Weeha because he has been solo while AM was in that tri lane. Feeling like Mickey is going to have a better time up here, but now there's a Soul Ring, so Weeha just, yeah, he's not going to get this kill. It's an anti-mage. He's got Salve, Tangos, but every time Soul Ring is up, so every 25 seconds, he's going to eat a Timber Chain plus Whirling Death.
Yeah. We did see Tavo get brought down somewhat low on this Beastmaster. He's going to salve up now after that initiation fails. Obviously, Frost Shield very good at keeping people alive, and he's just going to keep on beating into Boxy. I will say that one of the nice parts about this, obviously, is Timbersaw, is that you're going to be able to have the pure damage now instead of just getting the magical. So no more reduction coming out from that spell shield. As bottom lane, Boxy, they missed once. He got the Drunken Brawler off, but is he going to be able to walk away? He looks like maybe he does get out of there. Just barely.
Yeah, 10 health.
Oh.
And, whoa, let's say that's a lot of right-click damage. Nature's Prophet with a double damage rune. Tusk was just sitting there watching Medusa jungle, and I'm like, okay, he's just leeching XP. No, he's actually setting up a kill because Koikva has rotated in double null talisman with the Blightstone. His right-click damage, very, very potent.
Yeah, not to mention just having that extra tag team bonus damage coming out from the Tusk as well. So HFN going to need to be careful, and it's one of those things where you have a very strong hero like Tusk, you bring in the Nature's Prophet, it's kind of an easy kill on her consistently.
Pretty even game, though, because Alliance, the Nature's Prophet's having a great game shutting down Medusa a bit too, but AM is having a miserable time up top. He's just constantly getting right-click. Weeha level 5, so he can just tank tower shots now with the 3 points in reactive armor. And he's just right-clicking Mickey under the tower, doesn't care. Mickey, you want to hit creeps? I'm going to right-click you as you do so.
And the other thing, Weeha has a Quelling Blade too, so his base damage not that different from Mickey unless there's obviously hitting the range creeps. So contesting CS, making his life miserable as you said, and now
this
getting a good amount of damage on the tower.
Yeah, there's a siege creep. I think they're actually going to lose that top tower.
Tavo, though, is going to be punished for this, so you trade it off, but I would much rather have the Beastmaster have a tough time than Mickey right now, and just dies!
Okay. I'm just watching this top lane like, okay, let's watch him get this tier 1 tower, and then suddenly AM just gets deleted. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I don't think AM was expecting it, and, well, that's a kill and a tower. AM is just feeling like he has no lane to go to. I feel like he should have maybe swapped into the mid lane by now, because, yeah, Medusa is higher level than you and is going to harass you a lot, but that's probably the one lane where he's safest to farm.
And, I mean, he just TP'd into here and immediately, I mean, Timbersaw still has 4 tangos and a salve. Like,
yeah. This is not a support problem. Supports are like, that's a Timbersaw. We go there, we're feeding too.
Yeah.
It's just a Timbersaw problem. Some games, this hero just has an uncontested game, and this is one as King Owl goes down in the bottom lane. Alliance having their way down bottom, which is good news considering how unaddressable Weeha's Timbersaw is right now.
And you need to be so careful with Mickey still. Like, all of the pure damage that can come out very rapidly with the Whirling Death, having that Chakram ready. This is not a hero with a high mana pool. If he goes into the trees, he's going to get that bonus damage from the Timbersaw as well. Still has the Mango and that Soul Ring working. Yes. Mickey can't stay here.
And because he kept his Siege Creep alive, this is the same Siege Creep that pushed the Tier 1 tower. So Weeha's going to get the Tier 2 as well. His Creep Wave doesn't die because he's tanking it with his hero.
Yeah, and Misery keeps the pressure on. I mean, this rotation coming in from the Tusk, and now Tavo here as well. He's only level 4 on the Beastmaster, but they are going to try. Ooh, nice play there from the Tusk.
Does Weeha go high ground?
At 7.5 minutes.
He's going. He's got a Vlad's queued up. He wants to end the game. Lyrical, you got to believe this guy. He's going for the racks.
Yeah, if nothing else, the rotations. Look at this creep wave.
Fury on Kunk. Furin has a Vlad's. Like, Furin does nothing to him.
Oh my god, Mickey.
Mickey's just trying to draw the creeps off the tower. He blinks forward.
All right, this is a really dangerous situation. Mickey just dead again. 8 minutes. They're bringing in absolutely everybody for this. They are going to be able to control up Weeha, but he just jumps away. And now, if they're not careful, he might lose more. This guy is still living. Although the Purifying Flames, it's going to be a lot of damage. They do finally kill off Weeha. It took everybody, but they did it.
Yeah. Not quite unkillable.
Mickey, I don't think that's the time to use a voice line.
Yeah, he just did 500 plus damage to your tier 3 tower. I feel like he's feeling pretty good about how all that went. Interesting, he's got this Vlad's queued up. That is not a Timbersaw item whatsoever. But, you know, he's feeling like his team's going to hit this very fast early game timing where they can push as a 5-man unit. Medusa with triple Wraithband going for like a more early game centric build. We may see Medusa even join up with some pushes. Beastmaster, you know, natural early game pushing hero with the aura. Plus the vision you get from the Hawk and the Boar. Beastmaster actually has a Vlad's too, so these guys need to communicate. Don't get double Vlad's, guys. What the hell's going on? Chaos Gaming.
There's definitely chaos brewing right now.
This is inexcusable. Somebody needs to just talk, communicate, guys.
And I mean, I guess hypothetically this could change into something else for the Timbersaw with the headdress, but it definitely wasn't the intention, considering you finished off the Bassi. You
can make what, like a pipe or something, or even just, you know, sell your like just sell stuff. Like getting double Vlads is some of the worst stuff I've seen in a while. So let's hope this changes, because I mean, Chaos is looking good right now. They need to shore up some of these item decisions. Yeah,
and obviously going to be able to, you know, just be that much further ahead of Alliance because of the gold lead. But if your gold is not translating into, you know, items that are giving you bonus, it's not what you want to have happen. Yeah, he's switching it over to a mechanism actually for Timbersaw.
That's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Guardian Greaves, let's see it.
If they get all of these items really early on in the game, they can end this game fast. Another tower goes Weeha's way. He's like, okay, it's too early to go high ground. Let's not get Rax yet. But we can take all these other towers. So he takes over the mid lane while Medusa's going to just go jungle.
And look at how much space he's creating. Like, you're just bringing absolutely everybody, and it's not by any stretch of the imagination an easy kill for Alliance to take down this Timbersaw now. And meanwhile, the rest of them are just farming out the jungle or pushing the bottom tower. Koikva looking in some trouble, although they are going to be able to interrupt him with the shards. Stay too close. It's a lot of pure damage coming out, and stunned down in the bottom lane. They're trying to find themselves a secondary kill, but Weeha not going to die there. Roar, use bottom, and they will take down that Brewmaster.
Yeah, he's feeling himself. He's just having a great time diving past towers, going for these kills. Doesn't quite kill the Nature's Prophet. Still stays alive. Is just wreaking havoc on this game. Going for a slightly different build, maxing out Timber Chain with just the 1 point in Whirling Death, but this is just giving him that extra bit of mobility with the longer latch range, and that's partly why he can play the way that he is.
And still, the thing that you have to think about is that for all the space that Weeha's made, it's for a Medusa also, who is top of the net worth right now. And granted, Anti-Mage, a scary hero once he has farm, but level 7 right now sitting on basically nothing but Wraithbands. Doesn't even have boots. It's going to be a tough time as they're going to maybe kill off Misery here. Koikva, can he get away with murder? They're bringing in HFN, wanting to find the slowdown with that boar. And it looks like Koikva is going to be punched. One more hit should be enough, and needs another one after that, but they will kill him.
That's the mid Nature's Prophet. That's one of the most farmed hero on Alliance's side. The one hero that was kind of having a good game, and it's a big loss for them as there's just so much space for Medusa to be free farming the map, as well as Weeha to just continue to pressure these towers. The mech just about completed as well. And he's kind of following Mickey around, knowing that if he's there, he can just pressure Mickey and slow down his Battle Fury timing.
Rotation up here as well. They have Beastmaster, Roar available. And if they do bring all of these heroes, and Weeha can maybe keep this Siege Creep alive, looks like it is going to die, but they could put some pressure on.
Do some more damage to the Tier 3 tower at least, but it doesn't look like they're going for this kill right now.
No.
Vision down. They got the high ground ward. So they used the smoke there just to get a base ward, which is actually really nice considering they are looking to go high ground pretty early on this game.
All right, this rotation for Weeha. They want to find the kill, but the rest of Chaos is coming from behind. Can they bring the Timber in time? They will, and now Chaos in a bit of a rough position. They have that Fate's Edict to mitigate the damage from the Chain Frost, and it looks like Alliance able to get away with one there.
Yeah, that's what they got to do, is bring in enough heroes that can kill Timbersaw and punish him. It takes a lot of resources, but you either need to be killing other heroes elsewhere on the map or, you know, bring in this AM Oracle. Oracle's magic damage is pretty significant with 3 points in Purifying Flames, and Timbersaw not having like that casual hood is actually quite squishy to it. He's now got the hood queued up, and I think realizing if he has a hood, he would have been unkillable there. Instead, he's got this headdress plus Bassi Ring. He's kind of got these wasted items a bit. Although the headdress is now turned into a mech, but his item build has definitely hindered his ability to completely dominate this game.
13 minutes. It's a 2,000 gold lead. Does feel like this is where Chaos want to be, but likewise, there is maybe a little bit of looming anxiety about that Anti-Mage getting very, very farmed. Granted, still a ways away from the Battle Fury, but something to keep in the back of their minds. As a rotation comes right now, it does look like the Radiant hit them with that scan, so knowing that the smoke is coming for this Tier 1 tower push. And all space for Mickey.
They've got their brew split, so they're feeling like they can make a move around this area of the map, but it does seem like Chaos just don't really have any interest in fighting right now.
Yeah.
It's, Weeha's found himself on the bottom side of the map. His TP on cooldown, so I think at this point you're okay trading towers a bit because you're taking away a lot of the remaining map control of Alliance.
Quick kill there on the Misery as Quakeva takes the tower. And Weeha still pressuring in. They're moving in on Alliance, and it looks like Chaos, as you said, not wanting to take that fight against the brew split, and instead they're going to be able to secure themselves most likely that double set of bounty runes, while HFN just pushes out that top lane. It is a Shadowblade finisher Beastmaster Tusk.
This is good against AM, because now you can actually roar him out of invis without worrying about the spell shield. Ooh. So I like this pick up because it gets some pickoffs. He's kind of the one hero that can make some plays and kill an AM or even just gank some of these other heroes. So even going into Brewmaster makes your gank a lot less telegraphed.
I really like this medallion pickup for the Tusk. Throw it on with tag team working, and then of course afterwards, since Oracle is going to be going for the urn, it's just that extra value on this physical damage.
Always like when these 4 positions, don't get urn and let their Oracles buy it. It's just so much better on that hero.
Chain Frost bouncing back and forth. They do use the False Promise there, and with the Fate's Edict, it might be enough to keep him survivable, although Weeha's going to chase forward now and chakra him out. Not him down low. He is still living through all of that, and great damage thrown out. Tavo still there with the Shadow Blade. Roar onto the Brewmaster, trying to walk away from this. The Spirit Vessel doing a lot. Weeha misses his chains, and this looks like he's going to be able to live through it for the moment.
Yeah.
All right, the split, the walk away. It could be a win if they get out with everybody, although it looks like Tavo here going to take a punch. They don't want to dive for it.
No. At early Spirit, but I thought it was the Oracle going for the urn, but it's actually Brewmaster who gets this early Spirit Vessel and really recognizing the problem that is this Timbersaw.
And now, unfortunately for him, Boxy's going to be pulled back in with the Sinister Gaze, and that should be a kill. Alliance stuck around there for a very long time. Now it feels like they might get punished here, as we'll have another Stormhammer a second, and Insania just going to drop.
Couple bonus kills here. Things very tense here. Best of 1 elimination, and Alliance are just trying to do everything they can to give their anti-mage some space to come back online. He's very close to this Battle Fury. He's seeing number 6 in terms of net worth by a significant margin. He's almost half the net worth of this Medusa, but if he can get that Battle Fury and start accelerating his farm, this game could swing back towards Alliance's favor.
It's going to need to be a good amount of space created, and fortunately for Alliance, they have the heroes that do that. Nature's Prophet already pushing out that other lane. This bottom lane is going to be pressured in fairly heavily by HFN, but as far as Chaos maybe trying to close this game down, thinking towards Roche in the near future?
Absolutely, yeah. They want to get, tick off all the boxes here, take out the outer towers. One gets denied. Every little bit of gold adds up. Chaos feel like they're on a timer, and I kind of agree. This Medusa going late game against AM, and Timbersaw, again, these heroes are countered by AM, so they don't want this game to drag. They're looking to end fast. Roshan is going to be on the menu for them. But itemization from Alliance is good. Like Quakeva going for this Crimson Guard, a great way to stall pushes, reduce Medusa's damage in team fights. That split shot is just going to be tickling people. Medusa doesn't really hurt that much in these early Medusa. Like Medusas can go super late game and bypass the Crimson Guard damage block, but the early game Medusa push strats struggle to deal with the Crimson Guard a bit.
Might be able to see some big mana voids in the future if they're able to possibly bring down the mana on these heroes. Timbersaw does a decent mana pool. Lich also.
And level 2 mana void now, so a decent boost in the damage output of it.
Yeah, does have that Battle Fury. 17 minutes. Not the greatest in the world, as we can see, but when you had as rough a lane stage as he did, it's kind of understandable. But this is Alliance again trying to slow down and do whatever they can. Boxy. They already have the Crimson Guard out from Quakeva. Low on mana right now. This Brewmaster needs to be careful, and now the False Promise is going to keep him alive. But that's a big ultimate used, and Weeha down low. Can they kill him off in time? They are going to be able to bring down the Timbersaw. The Stone Gaze already used. They've been able to turn this around on a Boxy. They're buying back on Timber, actually, and with the kill on Quakeva, That should be Chaos's Roche.
Yeah, Boxy made a big mistake there. He had magic 1 charges to make sure he had mana to get his ultimate off, but he got greedy. He went for a clap before the split and was like 6 to 10 mana short, so he couldn't get Primal Split off. Oracle used his ultimate to save the Brewmaster, who doesn't even end up using Primal Split, and that, I mean, costs Alliance any chance of winning that fight. I don't even think the fight goes well for them with Primal Split, but they could have at least, you know, used it to just retreat without losing Nature's Prophet, and Brewmaster could have saved his own life. So it gave Alliance a lot more as a result of that mistake.
Yeah. And Mickey now just trying to clear through these medium camps, get off to the other creep wave. It's HFN that's there. So at least for the moment, Chaos going to feel comfortable just sitting back with that Aegis, farm up maybe the next item, and then they can make a push happen once the timer gets a little bit lower on it. But you need to get items right now if you're Alliance.
Yep. Mickey is going to probably have to do some like creep wave cutting when these pushes come, because Chaos are very likely, in a couple minutes time with their next item or two, just going to look to 5-man barrel down a lane with the Medusa Aegis. So AM needs to creep cut waves while the rest of his team deal with the wave that's pushing with the Chaos draft.
And Medusa, 12,000 net worth right now, going for the mobility. Hurricane Pike also has the Manta style done.
Yep. Always feels like you need some way to get out of Sprout in these games, and Hurricane Pike gives you that. She was carrying a Quelling Blade for all of the mid-game up until now, so Hurricane Pike can at least kind of replace that.
9-9, 3,000 gold lead at the 20-minute mark. Getting close to runes spawning here. It looks like Alliance might want to test for the top bounties.
Yeah, they'd love to find fights now, I feel.
And Weeha able to pick up the bounty rune and can go for just for the jump away. It's so hard to find that kill.
Chaos get what, all 4 bounty runes in the end.
Yeah.
I think that's where Alliance felt they could maybe take this fight up top. Problem was it's the Timbersaw, the most unkillable hero. But if they'd managed to find a way to contest that top bounty rune, get a kill, that would have been a big pickup for them to buy them some time.
Weeha definitely having a good game so far. In spite of the little flub up with the Vlads, he's transitioned into more of these just big tanky items. Has the GG boots now.
Nice. Yeah, if this game drags, though, this item build starts to not feel so great. You don't want to go late game with Greaves plus Pipe as a Timbersaw. That's where you'd much rather have, you know, your Bloodstone, Aghanim's, Dagons, etc. But for now, if they can look to kind of seal the deal sometime in with either this Roshan or next Roshan, the build's going to work very well for them.
Boxy moves into position. Quakefa shows up as well. The Sprout's there, but they immediately get it with the axes. And Misery still there with the Frost Shield. Chain Frost bouncing a little bit. Not all that much, but it does allow Misery to back up for the moment. Still should die there. The Spirit Vessel. And now King R moves in. God's Strength wants to punch people in the face. And Insania will be the one that he chose to go after, as Boxy's already used the Primal Spit. Chasing down now onto that Beastmaster. Seeing if they can find the kill. Oracle is dead, but it looks like Tavo can walk away. And yeah, they're kind of fine with this for now. And Alliance, they need to get out with Boxy. He might get ran down also.
He's got a blink.
King R has him in his sights, and the chase forward. Can they get the damage on him in time? Not quite, but they still have Timbersaw to reveal if they can get that Chakram into position. Boxy running. Does still have another blink in a couple of seconds. They bring down the trees, find Boxy, and now the chase forward. 4 more. This Brewmaster has had his last drink.
Yeah, he had no TP. It was on cooldown still, so even though he got the blink off, he couldn't instantly TP back home, and they lose Brew +1. It's still
even
okay.
The courier.
Their anti-mage is still farming elsewhere on the map, and Chaos aren't going high ground with this Aegis. So I think it's acceptable. It's still Chaos with control. The status quo hasn't changed too much, but at least for Alliance, you're thinking the AM is getting a chance to come online. He's number 2 on net worth now. He was number 6 if you go back, you know, to the 17-minute mark when he picked up his Battle Fury. So right now, Mickey just going to keep on farming. It's probably going to be quite some time before he catches up to Medusa, if he ever even does. But all it's going to take is one good Alliance team fight. If Alliance win one fight defending high ground, the game is going to suddenly look really nice for them.
Yeah, 40 seconds left, and Chaos kind of putting in the pressure here. They want to take a Tier 3 tower. As you said, they know that there's that little bit of a clock that they're on. And HFN already just saying, you can't deal with me at this point. He has his level 20 talent here as well. Manta's to take off the Cinder Brew. They're trying to beat through this first lane of barracks, and as you said, you need to take full advantage of the time when you're strong. This Age is still very close to expiring. see if Alliance want to try and take a team fight afterwards, as the creep wave is a little ways away.
Yeah, Brew not having ultimate meant Chaos could just walk high ground and ignore all this, and there wasn't really any wave cutting. I feel like that's the moment where I was talking about where AM needs to be behind the push, taking out the creep wave, and his team just try and deal with the creep wave in front.
Boxy, again, wants to go in. They have the false promise. Can he get his split off, though? It's not looking like it's going to happen as this Brewmaster Boxy, he gets stunned, wants to pop it, and it is going to happen. So they kill off the Brew. No buyback. Mana Void's pretty good, but not good enough as the Guardian Greaves come out. They're going to buy back on the Lich, want to run back in for this one, and Weeha is just going ham. Already has been able to kill off one. They're going to buy back on the Tusks now, seeing what they can do with Mickey in the base. He doesn't have Mana Void here, and as soon as that is not available, Weeha can just walk away from him. So a full lane of racks gone, Chaos in control.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite do enough. He's not ready to fight yet. This frontline Timber Medusa just a little bit too tough and too beefy to deal with. And Brewmaster, again, second time we've seen this game, goes in, doesn't quite get the split off. This time around, he went in when the split wasn't quite up, which I think was an okay decision. He knew it was coming up in 3 or 4 seconds, but it was just a great job by Chaos, chain stunning him as he tried to get the split off towards the end of the false promise. Somehow the Dire got credited to kill him. I don't know how that worked. I just saw it popped up in the chat message. The Dire killed Boxing. I was like, wait a second, he's Dire. But needless to say, this Brewmaster is just having a really rough time in these fights, getting off his ultimate. And even if he does, I think we saw in the last fight with his ultimate where Medusa just kind of split shots through it. Beastmaster with this attack speed aura and the physical damage also pretty useful at killing the Primal Split Warriors. They're not really teamfight changers like they were earlier on in the game.
That's just a little bit too big, and it does feel like at the end of the day, it is all about that anti-mage and where the lanes sit, which is what we're waiting to see. Alliance able to pick up a bounty rune there, and as you said, this is the anti-mage catching up in farm over the past couple of minutes. The slope on that graph increasing quite significantly, but they need more.
Yeah, it's rough now that you're down a lane of racks. That's kind of, to me, the trajectory Chaos were hoping for. First Roshan, get 1 lane of racks. Next Roshan, get your second lane, which is pretty much GG. Like, yeah, the AM can be a counter to Timbersaw Medusa, but if you're up 4 racks and then you've got map control and can take third Roshan, there's no real comeback from that point. Right now, it still feels like, you know, there's a window for Alliance to get back in this game. It's going to come down to either contesting next Rosh, which seems a lot harder, or just defending high ground when Chaos go for your second lane of racks, which you're actually doing now. They say that we don't need another Aegis. We just picked up this Scadio Medusa. We've got this level 20 talent. Timbersaw's incredibly unstoppable on the front lines.
Oh my god.
Alliance needs to defend. They're not even here.
This is incredibly problematic, and as you said, just maybe not anticipating it. The jump in from Boxy, he's going to get roared. They try and bring him down, but the snowball's safe. Going to keep him alive for the moment. There's going to be the Stone Gaze trying to walk away. Chain Frost, though, look at the bounces and all of the right clicks. It is so difficult to stop. Oracle had to use False Promise on himself, but that is a lie, as he is going to have to buy back now, and they won't have his ulti available, and they're just going for the tier 4s. They don't give a damn.
Yeah, they seem to
take it down.
They seem to know there's no Brewmaster buyback, or at least they're trying to force it, and they're going to kill Mickey.
He didn't stand a chance. Dead. And this is looking like Alliance in more than a little bit of trouble. Insania bought back, wants to run the Scotty slow, as well as the right clicks and the Timber Chain. Everything going together. GG is called. Chaos going to knock Alliance out of the tournament.
What a tragic end to Alliance's run here at the Major. A best-of-1 elimination, and Chaos, despite looking very poor in the group stage, only winning 1 of their 5 games, have come through perhaps the toughest test, the BO1s.
At the end of the day, you only need to win 1 game here also. Keep moving on.
Yep.
So impressive showing from them, and I felt like, you know, there's some things that the panel talked about with being able to dispel, you know, all of these different things that make them tanky, but at the end of the day, Timbersaw, it's a really good hero to pick there.
It was definitely the hero that just kind of sealed the deal a bit. It feels, so many of these AM picks, when they're, you know, a quote-unquote counter to the heroes on the other side, in this case 2, still feel lackluster when they don't have that good lane. You have to find a way for the AM to have a strong laning stage so he's not playing catch-up. If AMs are playing catch-up, it just throws your entire game off. That's what we see here a lot, and things just go so incredibly south for Alliance because they just don't have any way to kind of make plays in the mid-game. So really, really tough result for them, but you know, great showing from Chaos Esports.
Absolutely. What you'd like to see from them, and we'll see if there's more coming up in the next couple of days of best of 3s. But first, let's head back to the panel, see what they thought about that game.